Today is an incredibly important video because I'm going to share with you how to optimize properly your pixel, how to give it the best data, and how to make sure that you test properly in order to eventually scale as quickly as possible. This video is for you if you're doing Facebook ads. Guys, it took me a while to make this video because it's a lot of information and I needed to pinpoint what is the thing that separate me from let's say the beginners. Obviously, I have years in drop shipping with my brother. I have been doing this 8 years, and I've nailed down a few points that I think people don't do. And at the end of the day, I'm going to speak about the A/B testing and why this is so powerful. And most people they don't do it, so I don't understand. It's so simple. So let's dive into this thing. And guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We make 3 videos every single day. And the only thing that we want from you is to subscribe to us, like, and comment. And to be honest, we're going to keep doing this forever. So do not forget to at least support us a little bit. And we're going to keep doing it because at the end of the day, it takes us a lot of our time, but we do it for the love of the business. Okay. So let's start right now. So A/B testing, the foundation of Facebook ads. If you don't know how to properly A/B test, you will never scale or make serious money with Facebook ads. This is one of the most important thing I've learned in my dropshipping journey. Why? Because if you A/B test properly, you're going to give a lot of data to your pixel and you're going to be very, very efficient. The more efficient you are, the more data you give, the better data you give. It's going to end up with highly, highly profitability and highly, highly scalability. You need to understand that people don't understand how important a little thing like how to understand how to test different variables is extremely important because the faster that you are able to optimize, the faster that you're able to remove the bad things inside of your algorithm, the more data, the more quality. It's like your body. The more like trashy food you feed your body, the more trashy your body will feel. But the more quality food you give, the better it will be. So how does that make any sense with A/B testing? Let me tell you something. So now let's say that you've tested a product. You've tested a product, made a few sales. You have an interest that is maybe one or two interests that are consistently making you sales, and you have a certain creative that is working well. Now you want to scale. So what do you want to do? You either want to find other interests or you want to scale your creative. But what I like to do is I don't like to push right away to force the scaling of an interest. I like to expand. I like to expand on multiple interests and then after that scale with different budget with CBOs, more ABOs or whatever. So how to properly optimize things super fast. So the first thing that you need to do is you have a creative that is working, maybe two, but let's say it's just one. So now you're going to you want more interest, obviously. Okay, so you want to more interest in order um, to scale your product. So what you're going to do, you're not going to test new creatives at the same time of testing new interest. And that's what everybody does. Oh, let me test new creative at the same time and I'll be more efficient. No, you won't. No, you won't. What do you need to do? It's simple. You need to isolate the variable. So you need to be like, okay, this is my interest that is working, and this is the creative that is working the best. Let me duplicate it. And on that duplication, add a single new interest and duplicate it again and add a single new interest. So now you have two new interests on two new ad sets, and they're going to be with the same winning creative from the original one. So now you're going to test it. You have two new interests. Let's say they don't work. So if they don't work, you know it's not the creative. You know it's only the interest. Why? Because you have the same creative on the winning interest, on the initial one, on the OG one. So this is very important. So if you test, let's say, five more interests and none of them works, then it simply means your product is not as scalable as you think. So I would only scale that interest that is working originally. That's what it means. But let's say on the other hand that now you isolate those that creative, like I told you, and you test multiple interests and you have multiple winning interests, and boom, you have set your like you have found yourself new micro niches with different interests that is working and that could be scalable as well. And now you have more data, more good data to feed to your pixel. The ones that didn't work, you turn them off as quick as possible. The one that work, then you keep them. And now instead of having one interest that is giving to your pixel data purchases good food, then you have multiple interests. But now let's say that you've found multiple interests, and obviously you don't want to wait until your creative dies because creative fatigue is a big thing. So you want to test different creative. And like I said, you want to test different creative. What do you want to do? Then you want to take your best interest, your best performing interest. Look at it. Okay, this interest has been running for 3 days profitably, not the one that has a 20 ROAS and has been running for like 1 day. No, 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 no. This is fugazi. This is just like a lucky thing. If you have something that has been running for like 7 days but has like a 3 ROAS, I'd rather do that than something for 1 day with a 20 ROAS. So simple. So the longer, the more stabilized you know it is. So we'll take that and it'll be like, okay, let me take that interest that has been running for 2 weeks profitably with a 3 ROAS and test new creative. And now I'm just going to keep the same thing. Don't change anything and test different creative. And by doing that, then I will find newer, more powerful creatives. And it's going to be highly, highly profitable. It's going to make me more money. And because I will find, different creative. But again, not like you want to test multiple creative. You want to test like 20, 30, 40, 50 creative, not on one single ad set. Normally I do pack of 5 and I launch them and I say, okay, those ones are working perfect. Those are the one that I keep and the one that I remove. So now you will have multiple interests that are seriously passionate about your products with good creatives, and you will have newer creative with older interests that are also pushing, and you're feeding that pixel, you're really nourishing everything, and you'll see that things are going to go better over time. You will have a lower CPC, you will have more purchases, it will be more stable because why? You're feeding it with the right data. A lot of people, they just duplicate, they raise the budget and they say, oh, it's okay. You're going to feed it with bad data. Again, you need to understand something. If you have a winning product, doesn't matter what you do, you're going to be able to make sales. But the goal is not just to make sales. The goal is to be highly profitable. Because I know that everybody that says, oh, but drop shipping, there's not a big margin. I cannot make money. This is like I'm making $10 and I've spent $1,000. I know that that person doesn't know anything about ads, doesn't know anything about the business. The only thing that he knows is that he find a winning product and he scaled it the way that he wants with crazy strategies, and it just end up making a little bit of profit. Is that enough? Definitely not, because he's complaining about it. But that's what I'm saying, guys. I'm saying that you need to nourish the pixel properly. Obviously, don't go crazy about it. Like if it's been 2 weeks, you're like, oh, I don't find a new interest and blah, blah, blah. Like, don't go crazy about it. But what I'm saying is be efficient. Make sure that you're as efficient as possible. Okay, you have a product with an interest that is working. Boom, let me find other interests. Boom, let me test other different creative. And now you'll be able to scale with different creative, with different interests, and thing will be smooth. The reason that drop shippers are like, oh, my product is dying. What do I do? Is because their creative are dying out. You're putting the same creative in front of the people like millions of times. Like they're tired of seeing your ad. How many times you watch the same YouTube video? You don't watch the same YouTube video 50 times. So eventually you'll be tired of seeing the same creative, of seeing the same photo. It's just what it is. So, like I said, never test two things at once. If you test multiple variables like new creative, new interest, it doesn't work. You won't know which one was the problem. That's why you need to isolate the variable. And again, when it comes to Facebook, what I teach inside of the mentorship is be creative. Like I give you a framework, but you can be creative the moment that you have a winning product. You can add all the best interests together. You can do no interest. You can test different budget. And this is a good advertiser. A good advertiser is able to know, like, okay, this is my initial tools. This is what I do originally, but I can do different things here and there in order to make more money and to test if this work. If it doesn't work, then I lost 20, 40 bucks, 60 bucks. But if it does work, I'm making hundreds of dollars more with because of this strategy. So it's all about, like I said, optimization, fast, and being able to, capitalize on everything that you do. Because at the end of the day, guys, all those drop shippers that are making money, they know what they're doing and they don't waste any time. They do everything perfectly. They A/B test perfectly. They do everything great. So if you want to beat them or at least be at their level, then you need to know what you're doing. If not, you're just playing games, and that's not the business that I want to be in. I don't want to play games. I want to make money. So, hey guys, this is the video of today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Wish you all an amazing rest of the day. Take care and peace out.